My name is Mark Vorpahl. I'm a healthcare worker in Portland, Oregon. I work there, I live there, I was born here. This is my hometown. So, these issues are obviously very important to me. And I also am a member of a Solidarity Against Austerity Committee. I was at the last public hearing, and I really was very moved, as I am moved at this one, by the testimony of the people who've come here. Because it's very clear that Portland citizens are feeling compelled to come out because their families depend on a lot of the programs that are being targeted for cuts. And if cuts are made, it's going to be those that can least afford the burden that will end up paying the costs. And this is going to be a very damaging blow, not only to Portland's communities, but to our city's future. Though there is a $25 million general or hole in the general fund, when I look around and I see really quite a large number of corporations that are making many millions of dollars every year as a result of being here, I find it difficult to believe. In fact, actually, I don't believe it. Portland is not broke. There's a lot of money out there. You've been asking for revenue-raising ideas and others. Well, there's a lot we could go into, but for instance, the Portland business license, that is the equivalent of the Portland income tax. That's only 2.2%. So why shouldn't those corporations that are making many millions a year chip in a bit more? Why should they be let off the hook? Why should the most vulnerable have to pay the costs? Also, another part of our budget, the internal service funds. In the last 5 years, this has ballooned from $60 million to over $106 million today. And these are our taxpayer dollars. So how is it that we can justify making cuts that target youth, workers, and the poor when we have such a large reserve? I think finally, these hearings are about Portland's priorities. And, you're right, we need to do more than just fill the deficit. We need long-term solutions. That basically means we need to empower our communities. That means we need jobs, not cuts. We need jobs, not high unemployment. We need better social services and more school teachers, not these cuts. And if you do that, it will help to lift us all up to create a stronger tax base for the future. Corporations, they have the money out there. It's readily apparent. So let's do the right thing. Let's act according to Portland's values of community and have them do their fair share rather than hurt those who can least afford to be hurt.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
My name is Seamus Cook. I'm a case manager for teenagers in foster care, and I'm also a volunteer with the group Solidarity Against Austerity. I'm also here to oppose all the cuts in the budget. But first, I want to give one example. The city's summer jobs program, known as Summer Works, hires at-risk youth for summer jobs. Youth are employed doing city services such as working in the parks. And as a social worker, I've seen many programs for at-risk youth, none as effective as this program. Why does it work? Because young people want money and young people want jobs. Right now, however, it is almost impossible for a young person to get a job in this city. We are in a jobs crisis. The private sector will not hire these youth. The city should step up and expand this program, not step back and cut it. And it can be funded. All of these programs can be funded. So let's talk about raising revenue, not about cuts. There's been too much discussion about cuts only and too little about revenue ideas. Let's talk about more city jobs, not more layoffs, and let's talk about raising revenue from those who can afford it, the wealthy and corporations in this city. We deserve a full discussion about ways to avoid cuts in the budget. Cuts can be avoided. This city is not broke. Let's talk about the wealthy and corporations paying their fair share too.